Hello, everyone, and welcome to Wintercrest Park for CTN's live coverage of the high school baseball season opener. It's a bit chilly at the ballpark as the Coon Rapids Cardinals host the Minnetonka Skippers. Joe Young, Howie Shapiro behind home plate and excited to get this one underway.
Very much so, Joe, and it wouldn't be a home opener if it wasn't chilly and we had to wear a few layers. And you know, typically at this time of the year it gets a little bit more chilly, but the fact that we're here is the biggest thing because, as everyone remembers, no season last year, so an opportunity for these young men to get out, and two pretty good programs. Obviously Coon Rapids, very successful program, and Minnetonka as well.
Well, and a very tough position for the senior class of 2021 because they lost the whole junior year, which is a crucial developmental year, and now just eager to kind of get their last chance on the field and do what they can with what's left of their season, but at least they're able to play.
Yeah, I know these boys are chomping at the bit just to get out there against some live competition. And, you know, until you face that first-time live competition, you kind of don't know exactly what you have. You have an idea, but once everybody gets on the field and the first live pitch goes, then you see exactly what you have as a ball club.
Well, and that's another thing that it'll be interesting to watch because both teams, you know, very shortened preseason, only started tryouts 2 weeks ago. No chance to have scrimmages. Usually you see a couple of other teams before you get to the season opener. Just not the case this year with the restrictions and the late starts. And, you know, you'll see the guys wearing masks as much as possible, but just excited to be on the field, and we'll see what transpires for the Coon Rapids team. Obviously, I'm very familiar with them. A lot of seniors.
A lot of seniors,
and you know, only two underclassmen will start on the varsity roster, but you know, it'll be interesting to see how Coach Mossy uses the number of great athletes that he has. He had a lot of tough decisions to make just to decide which team would be best to put out on opening day. We'll take a short break as they play the anthem. We'll be back with the first pitch of the 2021 baseball season. You're watching live coverage on CTN.
Wash your hands. Scrub them while you sing this song. Wash. Rub your hands and fingers and the places in between. Using soap and water makes your hands so clean. Wash your hands. Great job, you're almost done. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now dry.
Wash your hands for 20 seconds, just like Elmo.
In order for us to continue participating in athletics and activities,
we need to work together.
Wash your hands often, especially when you're in public areas.
If you're sick, stay home.
Stay at least 6 feet away from other people, and do not hang out in groups.
Cover your nose and mouth with a mask or use a cloth face covering.
Help keep us in the game.
Please practice health and safety protocols so we can keep doing what we love. Mask up, Rebels.
Tornadoes.
Cardinals. Bengals.
Huskies. Mask up and O'Callaghan.
Nice hands, drives, score. There you go, 47 degrees. Wind chill is at about 41 with that 11-mile-an-hour wind as it's going left to right in the outfield. No precipitation to speak of yet. And we certainly hope it will stay that way. It is not supposed to storm, so we hope to get the game in.
I stopped by the studio and went up on the roof to check the Doppler, and I think we're okay for tonight. So I think there may be some rain later tonight, but we're good.
There's a look at the Minnetonka hitting order. Zach Zeta, their shortstop, ready to lead off, followed by Andrew Uglum, Danny Davis. First baseman Charles Hemmer is the cleanup man. Then it's Josh Daniel. Duke Kiffin, Jake Margot, the DH, hitting 7th. Grant Thomas and Blake Singh round out the order for the Skippers. Jack Vlacity will be the starter for the Cardinals on opening day. Big, strong right-hander.
Yep.
And they have depth in that pitching position as well. And we'll see, again, the pitchers especially have not had much time to get ready. There's a look at the opening day defense for the Cardinals. Antonio Manos, Ian Wynn, and Sam Halverson in the outfield. Parker Roloff at first, Lucas LeBrant at second. Sophomore Mark Manders at short. Zach White is a junior at third. Ricky Petroff is behind the plate, catching for Vlacity. First pitch of the season inside, 1-0 to Zeta.
Yeah, and I think, we'll see how this game unfolds, but I think both teams will probably want to use a number of different pitchers here just as the season opener unfolds.
That one gets Zeta swinging, and evens the count 1-1.
Coach Twinkie, who unfortunately isn't here today, told me that the part of their game they need to work on is at the plate. They said they play very solid defense, but
good pitch there that just froze Zeta and gets Vlacity ahead in the count, 1-2.
But they want to try and get their bats going here early this afternoon against a really good Coon Rapids team.
Well, and the bats typically this time of year, first chance for the hitters to see live pitching. Another curveball, and this time Zeta was ready for it, and he puts it through the hole on the left side for a leadoff single.
Yeah, Manders tried to make a move to his right, but just couldn't get there. And whether he had gotten there or not, Zeta would have beaten that one out.
Bring up the right fielder, Andrew Uglum, with one on and nobody out. Comes right at him, gets him swinging, 0-1.
Yeah, nice first pitch offering there to Uglum from Vlacity. He's got that ball just to drop a little bit at the end.
Up out of the zone, evens the count, 1-1.
We'll also see how aggressive Minnetonka wants to be on the base pass, too. See if they test Petroff behind the plate.
They are going to run. Swinging strike on the fastball. The throw not in time, and a stolen base for Zeta. Well, you called it, Howie.
Maybe they heard me. That guy who knows nothing about baseball said you should steal.
Good, strong fastball. This throw a little bit to the wrong side of the plate. I don't know, or wrong side of the bag. I don't know. Even a perfect throw. That was a good jump by Zeta.
Did a nice jump.
Uglum behind in the count, 1-2. Pops this one up just behind second base. Manders calling off, makes the catch, leaning to his left for out number 1.
And you're going to also have to play, as you mentioned in the opening, with the wind a little bit. That one kind of trailed a little bit off from Manders, but he was able to stay with it and make the catch.
Now Danny Davis, the catcher for Minnetonka, will dig in. Zeta, the runner at second base, 1 away now. Vlacity finds the top of the zone and gets ahead in the count, 0-1.
Yeah, pitch count for both teams will be really important, I think, here today.
Speed pitch hit back to the right side. Roll off fields, flips to Vlacity, and he missed the base. And runners at the corners with only 1 out.
Yeah, that's a tough one there. I mean, he had to come over. He had to hustle off the mound.
Flip a little high, and he just missed it.
That's unfortunate.
So runners at the corners, 1 out for Charlie Hemmer. cleanup man licking his chops for this kind of situation. Pitch down and in the dirt to the backstop. Both runners advance. Minnetonka on the board with a wild pitch.
Yeah, nothing that Ricky could do about bringing that ball in, as that one was to his way outside to his right, and as you mentioned, in the dirt. There's a fair amount of room here between home plate and the backstop. It made an easy opportunity to score the first run of the game.
And Davis over into scoring position. Fastball in for a strike, evens the count 1-1.
Of course, not only that wild pitch scores a run, but it takes you out a double play opportunity.
Curveball, and Hammer able to hold off as it dives down and in at his ankles. Two and one. Fastball stays high, 3-1.
We'll see if he has the, if he's going to take and just make him pitch here at 3-1.
Ball four. Runners at first and second with still only one out. Josh Daniel, or is the hitter, the third baseman. Two on, one out. One already across. Minnetonka trying to get something happen in this opening inning of the season, and Davis got Vlasity's attention at second and steps off and now looks back in. This one fouled off out of play, 0-1.
At this point, Cardinals would love to just to be able to limit just to one run here in this top of the first. But Minnetonka doing a good job here threatening with one out and runners at first and second.
Speed floater is in there for strike two, 0-2.
Yeah, Daniel looked like at first he was going to offer at it and then thought, well, maybe it's not in the zone, but he's still shaking his head a little bit.
Comes back with a fastball, popped up, back and out of play. And we'll try again at 0-2. This one hit hard down the right field line, hooking and foul.
They got a hold of that pitch, but obviously couldn't keep it fair.
And Daniel will continue to battle. That one up and in. Daniel ducks away from it. Vlasity with room for error, still ahead in the count, 1-2.
Yeah, this would be a big out for him at the plate if he can get it.
Misses low with a fastball and evens it up at 2-2.
Yeah, I think he tried to go a little bit low in the zone to see if he could get him to offer at it.
Daniels fights off a pitch, got out in front of it. It'll stay 2-2. You mentioned pitch count. Pitch number 8 of this at bat for Josh Daniel. 2 on, 1 out, 1 across. Minnetonka up 1-0 here in the top of the first inning. Great pitch right there, just frozen. Drop through the zone for a looking third strike.
Oh, that's exactly what Jack needed there. Get that second out of the inning, not worry about the base runner, and see if you can get this batter here coming up in Duke Kiffin to maybe just hit something on the ground and get out of the inning. That was a pretty pitch.
Fastball just high, 1-0.
Oh, it's good patience at the plate because that didn't miss by much.
Nope, just inside, 2-0. Fastball fouled back out of play. Another challenge pitch right down the pipe. Foul back, 2-2.
He's got a pitch to work with here, see what he can offer, if he can get him to maybe commit to something.
Went back to that curveball. It's fouled back out of play. See if he could get Kiffin to freeze. Didn't happen. This one popped up, playable for Petrov. Not able to get the leather on it. And the at-bat will continue.
Yeah, it's a tough break for the Cardinals because that should have been the third out of the inning, and just unfortunately just couldn't get the glove to close on the ball. Maybe he was a little distracted by Velocity coming in.
So it'll stay 2-2 now to Duke Kiffin. 2 outs, 2 on. Runner was going, not picked up, and still the tag was put on in time. Looked like Petrov didn't catch the run from Davis right away, but the tag is there from Zach White, and the Cardinals get out of the inning, leaving Kiffin at the plate, so he'll be on again. Here's another look at it, trying to get around.
Oh, yeah.
White able to sweep the tag before Davis is able to get his hand around into the base. Nice throw, nice catch. 1-0, Cardinals at the plate after this.
So I just moved in with his family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Oh, it's so nice to all be sitting down together. You can tell me something they did today.
I drew a horsey.
Good for you, son.
I started smoking.
I love you too, sweetheart.
I'm selling bongs out of our minivan.
I got a tramp stamp.
I'm getting implants.
I'm dating your brother.
Uh-huh.
I'm cooking meth in the basement.
Great idea, kiddo. That's why you're so popular at school.
Back at Wintercrest Park, the Skippers get one in the top half. Aided by an error. No hits in the inning. Oh, they did have one hit.
They had
in
one
the
hit.
inning.
Yep. Well, and good for the Cardinals that they only gave up that one run, because it could have been a little bit more. And that nice throw and a great job by Zach White to kind of block the runner to make him reach around him to tag the bag.
Agreed. Ian Wynn, the center fielder, eager to dig in and get this season started for the Cardinals, see if they can get that run back. Ricky Petroff will start out on deck. Antonio Manos behind him. Jack Vlacity, the pitcher, hitting the cleanup spot. Zach White, then Parker Roloff, Sam Halverson, Mark Manders, and the second baseman, Lucas LeBrandt, rounds out the order for head coach Matt Mossy.
And when you have Ian Wynn at the plate, when he gets on base, there's a lot of speed there.
First pitch goes back off of Lambert's foot, takes a high hop. Unable to scoop from second is Duke Kiffin. And I'm going to call that an infield single to start the season.
Yeah, they would have made it was pretty difficult with his speed to be able to get him. Nice way for the Cardinals to start
Unless
this.
Lambert is able to make the grab cleanly at the mound.
Well, that's different, yeah. But once that hit the mound, went off him.
Took a high hop, went off the heel of the glove for Duke Kiffin. That'll bring Petroff to the plate. Ian Wynn, definitely a danger to steal. Takes a big secondary lead, but stays aboard. The pitch to Petroff, down and away, 1-0. Wynn is going, a swinging strike and no throw from Danny Davis behind the plate.
Wynn got a nice jump, and obviously with his speed, made it to the bag. And I think even if he had gotten the ball out of his glove cleanly, I don't think he would have been able to throw him out. And now you get the runner in scoring position with nobody out.
1-1 count for Petroff. This one high down the right field line, hooking into foul territory. Long run and able to make the grab was Uglum. Tagging and moving over to third is Ian Wynn.
It's a nice grab by Uglum in right field.
In foul territory. Yeah. He ran a long way.
Now Cards threatening to tie this game up with one away and a runner at third. But, yeah, just a nice defensive play by Uglum. And Coach Twenge, when I talked to him, said, yeah, we're going to play really good defense. You'll see it when we take the field.
Manos at the plate with Wynn at third and one out. Looks at a fastball, strike one. Wynn, Manos, and Vlacity are the three senior captains for the Cardinals, as voted on by the team last week. Wisely stays off the breaking pitch that ended up down in the dirt at his feet. Good stop by Danny Davis, keeps Wynn honest at third. Way up high, 2-1.
Yeah, trying to come with a fastball, just didn't get the part of the play he wanted, just a little bit high.
On the inside edge. Manos backed away from it, but called a strike, 2-2.
Yeah, and just again, this is a big batter for Lambert. If he can get the out at the plate, get the second out of the inning.
That one in the dirt, bounces away, but not far enough. It will go to a full count against Manos. One out. Cardinals trying to answer the run from the Skippers in the top half of the inning. Ball four, it got away a little bit from Davis, but again, not far enough away.
Cardinals, the pitcher, number 33, Jack Vlacity.
So look at the defense for Minnetonka. Andrew Uglum in right field. A great play to get out number one. Grant Thomas is in center. Blake Singh in left. Charles Hemmer, Duke Kiffin on the right side of the infield. Andrew Ellie is the shortstop. Josh Daniel at third. Danny Davis behind the plate for Ryan Lambert. Runners at the corners, one out for Jack Vlacity. And he swings underneath the fastball 0-1. And Manos at first has an awful lot of speed as well. Coon Rapids known to be very aggressive on the bases. See how early he goes, and he is away. The pitch is up and in, and Davis will just let him have the base to make sure Wynn stays at third.
It was just looking at that fielding chart. Actually, Zach Zeta is playing shortstop.
That makes more sense.
Yes.
Another pitch up high, 2-1 now to Vlacity with two runners in scoring position. Vlacity, the pitcher for the Cardinals, also the one who has had the error charged to him. That one got far enough away, and Wynn slides in safely. Manos moves up to third.
He didn't need the ball to get that far away from the plate to be able to score from third with his speed.
No, and that was about the third time that the ball got that far away, and
yep.
I'm guessing he just looked at Lambert and said, well, Lambert's not going to get to that base before I am, so I'm going.
That was just a heads-up play by Ian Wynn.
Swinging strike makes it a full count. Looking at a fastball, strike three. Big second out for Lambert.
Huge second out. I know that's frustrating for Jack because I think he felt he wanted to offer at that.
It was right there.
Yeah.
And now Zach White trying to get a knock and put his team in the lead. And he looks at that same pitch, 0-1. Lambert showing a lot of fastballs early on, and a lot of them right down the heart, just challenging Coon Rapids hitters. Does it again, and White comes up empty.
Well, he throws mostly, he's going to throw mostly fastballs. And as he's challenging the hitters there. Great opportunity heading the count 0-2 to get out of the inning with just the one run.
That one way up high, bounces away from Davis. Manos will come home, and the Cardinals will take a 2-1 lead here in the bottom of the first inning.
Yeah, I know that's unfortunate for him for that pitch to get away, and especially being ahead in the count 0-2. That tough one for Davis to bring in, that just whistled by him up high to his left.
And now the base is clear with two out. Lambert backs off the rubber and now digs back in. His team staked him to a 1-0 lead before he took the hill, and now surrendering a pair of runs before getting a pair of strikeouts. And that will do it for inning number one. It's the 2021 high school season opener. Coon Rapids leading the Minnetonka Skippers 2-1 after one. Second inning is next on CTN.
Touchdown! Oh, you see that? Whoa, we scored? Yeah, we scored going to the playoffs. I can't believe I missed that. Every time I'm buzzed, I spend too much time on my phone. What? I should take your phone away. No. I'll call for a ride. Hey, why does my face look like that?
I'm playing with these new face filters.
Okay, you know what? Yep, that's mine. But I need that back. No. Kevin!
Home fire drills give your family a plan of action. In a home fire, you may have less than 2 minutes to get out. So when you drill, show everyone 2 ways out of the house, pick a safe meeting spot, and get there in under 2 minutes. Then practice home fire drills at least twice a year. You can even make them fun. So everyone knows the sound and exactly what to do when they hear a smoke alarm. Go to ready.gov/fire drill and learn how to prepare your family for home fires.
So the Cardinals give up an unearned run in the top half of the first inning, but are able to score on a wild pitch and a pass ball.
Yeah, they'll take runs any way they can get them, quite obviously, especially here in the season opener. It's an opportunity here for velocity after a lot of pitches, 29 pitches in that first inning.
Well, and you talked about it too. You know, we'll see how many pitchers teams want to use. Obviously, they have a schedule that has games Tuesday, Thursday, next week, Saturday as well. So you don't want to go too deep, but you don't want anyone to go too long after not really getting a long time to get used to throwing and throwing hard.
Well, you know, and especially with the weather being chilly like it is, and you just don't know, you know, how guys' arms are going to be affected with it by it. So I think it's
a good start here. He's got an 0-2 lead on Margot and tried to drop that curve in, and it's popped up to short. Mark Manders is underneath it for out number 1. Oh, that was Duke Kiffin. I apologize because he was at the plate.
Yep.
And now it will be Jake Margot. Just outside, starts Margot out 1-0. A good fastball blown past the swinging Jake Margot and gets it even at 1-1.
Yeah, I think Jack, of what he would love here is just a relatively quick inning.
Speed drops out of the zone, 2-1. Just off the outside edge, 3-1.
Yeah, he's trying to go low and outside the zone away from the left-hander. But just not able to find the zone the way he wants to. 3-1.
Comes back with a challenge pitch and gets it past him and loads the count at 3-2. And now outside, ball 4.
I certainly didn't want to lose him in that situation. 1 away, now you have a runner at first.
Second walk of the ball game for Vlacity. And now it'll be center fielder Thomas Grant getting his first hacks of the season. Fastball up high. Petrov bluffs the throw to first. Foul back to the backstop by Grant, and it's 1-1. Fastball just high, 2-1.
Yeah, again, patient at the plate there not to offer it that one. It wasn't that high and was in the zone, but just a little bit up.
This one foul and out of play. 2-2. Most of the batters for the Skippers so far getting their money's worth from their at-bats.
Yes, absolutely.
Getting up there, getting some hacks in, fouling off some 2-strike pitches. 2-2.
Oh, beautiful.
Looking at another breaking pitch from Vlacity that falls in for strike 3.
So I was on the internet the other day and I saw a stat, Joe, and they were talking about how many pitches the average Major League Baseball lasts.
6?
8. I thought it would have been a little higher than that. Yeah.
Good look at the break on the curveball from Vlacity. His second strikeout of the ball game. Bunt attempt popped up in foul territory. Long run for everybody and no chance for anyone. It's 0-1. Blake Singh tried to catch the Cardinals napping.
Now, good thought there too, and it was, as you mentioned, now no one able to get over there in time, and that one just kind of fouled off quickly. Popped up, but fouled off quickly.
Misses low, 1-1.
Again, Vlacity trying to keep that ball down low in the zone. Make them see if they can hit something on the ground.
This one straight to the backstop, 1-2. Runner is going. The ball play to the right side. LeBrant to roll off. And that'll end the threat in the top of the second. Cardinals hitting with a lead in the bottom half when we return on CTN.
This is my kingdom come. This is my kingdom come.
Hi, I'm Ryan Nagasu, 2010 Olympian and bronze medal winner of the 2014 U.S. Championships. I knew I loved skating at the age of 5, and now it's become my life passion. Find your skating passion at the Coon Rapids Ice Center. Classes are available all year round. It could be the place where your skating dreams come true. See you on ice.
Opiates has taken everything and everyone I've ever loved away from me. Everything.
I blew my ankle out and I got prescribed pain pills by my doctor.
If making my detox public is gonna help somebody, I'm all for it. I just wish I would have had a warning.
Opioid dependence can happen after just 5 days. Know the truth, spread the truth.
Parker Roloff, Sam Halverson, and Mark Manders, the scheduled hitters for the Cardinals here in the bottom half of the second inning.
On the Cardinals with a 2-1 win. Love to see if they get their bats going here in inning number 2.
Well, Ian Wynn led off with a single at a stolen base and then scored on a wild pitch. Antonio Manos how did he get on? He walked.
He walked.
Right? Okay. He walked. Went to second. You could give him a stolen base. I say it's fielder indifference because there was no throw, but either way, he moved to third on the wild pitch and home on a pass ball. Parker Roloff starting at first base, his first at-bat of the season. You talk about a lot of these seniors would have gotten some varsity time as juniors.
Oh, I'm sure.
Instead, on a cold April morning or early afternoon, they're getting their first ever varsity looks. Pitch down low and out of the zone, 1-0.
Yeah, we've seen a few of those from Lambert here, obviously, early this afternoon.
Comes back with a fastball at the knees to even it up.
Well, when you throw one in the dirt, next pitch is fastball for a strike.
Misses low again, 2-1. And now up high, 3-1. Lambert with one walk in the top half of the, or bottom half of the first inning. I'll get it figured out eventually.
It's our first game too.
Correct. That was a good pitch.
Yep.
Lambert, that hit for Wynn was a sharply hit ball back to the mound that bounced off his foot, turned into an infield single. This pitch up high, ball 4, and a leadoff walk for Parker Roloff.
Now, certainly the Cards will take that, get that leadoff walk here in the bottom of the second.
Sam Alverson gets his first chance, starting in left field in the opener. And his first at bat comes with a runner at first and nobody out. His team up by 1. This one hit back to the mound. This time Lambert able to corral it and throw over to first for the out. But Roloff advances into scoring position on the play.
And again, that one, Lambert, as you mentioned, didn't feel it get it clean as he would have liked, but able to pick it up, threw a little bit low to Hemer at first. But well, unlike that one that Wynn hit.
Stopped it with his pitching hand. Big swinging strike for Mark Manders.
I think you mentioned me, Mark, just a sophomore.
Yeah, as a freshman last year, obviously that season lost to COVID, but he got some time playing with the varsity group in that summer. I believe that's right. He might be a sophomore. Or he is a sophomore.
He's a sophomore.
He might be.
Yeah, that's what you.
Yeah, pretty sure that's right. This one skips off the glove of Davis and to the backstop. Roloff will move over to third base.
Yeah, too many of those type of pitches for Ryan Lambert here early on this afternoon.
Well, and that's one Davis just maybe took his eye off a little bit and a little casual, not looking it all the way into the glove. It goes off the tip into the backstop. Still a 1-2 count for Manders. Now a runner at third base with only one out. Thought about swinging, but holds off, and
that's a tough one to hold off of.
And it's 2-2.
Infield playing in.
Another pitch up high, 3-2.
Now the pressure on Lambert here. He wants to make sure he offers him a good pitch.
Pitch inside, ball 4, second walk of the inning, third of the ball game already for Lambert.
Now we're going to have a meeting at the mound. Pitching coach is going to come over and have a talk with Ryan Lambert before he faces Lucas LeBrand. I just watched a catcher come out of the dugout for Minnetonka. We'll see if get a little action in the bullpen for the Skippers.
early on, but again, you want to watch the pitch count. They haven't had a lot of season to warm up yet, and I'm sure Minnetonka, like Coon Rapids, has a lot of guys they want to look at before we get too deep into the already shortened season.
Absolutely.
So Lucas LeBrant will dig in. Runners at the corners, 1 out. Bottom of the second inning. Coon Rapids already up 2-1. Lambert with another fastball high. Both pitchers, a few more pitches than they would like in the first couple of innings. Manders is going. The pitch is in for a called strike, and sliding in safely at second is Manders with a stolen base. So 2 runners in scoring position. Still only 1 out.
Yeah, and that certainly takes the force away at second.
Infield way in. Center infield now on the grass, and they show bunt. But the pitch was low. It's 2-1. Cardinals been known to squeeze.
Yeah.
I don't know that this is the ideal situation, but
good patience there by Lucas just to hold off that pitch. It was a little bit up in the zone, but he thought about it, but made sure that he checked his swing.
And that is ball 4, way over the head of Lucas LeBrand. The bases are loaded as we get back to the top of the order. And Ian Wynn.
Yeah, loaded with 1 out, and the pitching coach just signaled to the bullpen.
Well, you got 4 walks first time through the order. You got 4 walks. Really, Coon Rapids hasn't been able to square him up. The one hit was Wynn's grounder back to the mound. Best hit ball was probably Petrov's foul ball down the right field line that was tracked down well by Uglum back in the first inning.
Matt Kelly warming up in the bullpen for the Skippers.
Well, Lambert probably not going to get the benefit of the doubt much here from the umpire with how he has struggled with his location here in the second inning. Good fastball there to get strike 1 and even it up.
Yeah, did a nice job keeping that on the outside portion of the plate.
Trying to go back there again, just misses down and away, 2-1. Outside, 3-1.
Davis tried to frame that pitch, see if he could get the call.
Three walks in the inning, in danger here. 3-1, has to bring something. Hit to the right side, coming home with it is Hemmer. Davis gets the force at the plate. Everybody's safe on fielder's choice, but a big second out.
Yeah, big second out, and so obviously smartly you go to the plate with bases loaded. And Wynn hit that one sharply, but bounced perfectly to Hemmer.
Yeah, pretty easy play.
Yep. Matt Mossy, head coach Matt Mossy, is going to have a talk with Petrov before he steps to the plate.
As I mentioned, I think his was probably the best hit ball the first time through the order for Minnetonka. He's a big, strong kid, and he can absolutely punish a baseball if he gets a hold of it. This would be a good time for it here with his team trying to break this one open. Gets that first pitch fastball and fouls it back out of play. pulled the string on that one and got Petrov swinging out of his shoes. He's ahead in the count, 0-2.
That was the best thing for Ryan Lambert here to get ahead in the count as he is.
Well, now
bases juiced.
Yeah, he needed to throw some of his best pitches of the afternoon, and he just did. Goes back to the fastball, and that one's fouled off. Out of play. We'll stay at 0-2. Yeah, I was just going to say he had been leaning more and more on that fastball as we got later into the inning. And then he threw that curve and got a big swing out of Petrov. Another 0-2 pitch, goes back to it, and again gets Petrov out on his toes, swinging early, and comes up with a big strikeout to keep the board clean for the Cardinals. They leave them loaded. Coon Rapids 2, Minnetonka 1 after 2. You're watching high school baseball season opener on CTN.
Plants throws deep downfield. Milwaukee behind the defense has the catch, and he is gone.
Great showing in the 100 butterfly. She can't quite catch the leader. And it's hard to throw you for a loop.
No, not when it comes to swimming.
When I first saw a turtle, my heart was full. Now I'm anything but lonely.
We had this like deep connection, this heart connection.
He just wants to be close to you and part of your life.
Every day with Turtle is a perfect day.
When I'm holding her, it makes me feel calmer.
I think everything he does shows how much he loves us.
When we adopt a shelter pet, we discover they're a little bit of a lot of things.
But they're all pure love.
Back at I was about to say Minnetonka.
I know you were.
Back at Wintercrest. 2021 high school baseball season opener. Skippers will have the top of their order here in the top of the third inning. They trail the Cardinals 2-1.
Well, the Skippers have to feel pretty good about getting out of that inning without any runs let in, with the bases loaded and one away.
Zach Zeta, the shortstop for Minnetonka, singled and stole a base, scored on a wild pitch back in the first inning. All 3 runs so far today are on pitches that have gone to the backstop. Unofficially, there are 2 that are wild pitches and 1 that is a pass ball. This one is in play for Manos. He is not able to squeeze it. And it's a tough error for the Cardinals to start inning 3.
That ball hung up a long time, too, and Manos was trying to get underneath it, and I think I don't know if the wind took it at the last second. Just over the top of his glove. Tough way for the Cards to start here in inning number 3.
Yeah, it's just too casual. A quick bunt by Uglum, laid down perfectly, and Vlacity slipped as he went to field it, so he's going to reach safely with no play. An infield single on the bunt for Andrew Uglum. Runners at the corners with nobody out here, and that's just in 2 pitches.
I'm not sure he would have gotten him out anyway. That ball kind of died in that grass. Yeah,
a perfect bunt.
Yeah.
That's why I called it a bunt single.
Yep.
So runners at the corners, nobody out. Danny Davis reached on an error, a ground ball to the right side of the infield. Runner is going, and this one grounded to the right side, fielded by LeBrant. They'll get the out at second, but they'll drive in Zeta from third and tie this ball game at 2 apiece. So a very productive out for Danny Davis.
Well, and especially after we talked about with the Cardinals having that opportunity to score some runs in their bottom half of the second. Now all of a sudden come back here, nobody out. Now a runner at second, and they've tied it up.
Charlie Hemmer, a walk, his first time up in the first inning. Looks at a fastball just low, 1-0. Season opener, you always expect to see some sloppy play.
Yeah, of course.
But this year, a greater excuse than others because you just didn't have as much warm-up time, prep time, as we talked about earlier. No scrimmages before the season opener, so this is the first real live baseball these boys have played in months and months. A chance for Halverson. He's there to make the catch for out number 2.
Well, Sam just camping underneath that one in left field. Get that second out.
Yeah, and the important part for Coon Rapids, obviously, is just to get out of this without any more damage done. Josh Daniel put up a battle his first time at the plate. He went 8 pitches deep and then frozen by a curveball. This one hit hard to White at third. He goes across for out number 3. But the Skippers take advantage of another Coon Rapids error, put another run on the board. And we're even at 2-2. Middle of the third, Cardinals up next.
When I first saw Turtle, my heart was full. Now anything but lonely.
We have this like deep connection, this heart connection.
He just wants to be close to you and part of your life.
Every day with Turtle is a perfect day.
When I'm holding her, it makes me feel calmer.
I think everything he does shows how much he loves us.
When we adopt a shelter pet, we discover they're a little bit of a lot of things.
But they're all pure love.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
A lot of fans out for the season opener, braving the chilly weather. And it's been a game. Not the prettiest,
no,
but at least it's been equally ugly on both sides.
Hey, you're outdoors, you're watching Cardinal sports, and how better, not much better than that.
Even the dogs have their winter coats
I know.
on.
They're going, what's that coat fur?
Well, Coon Rapids, as you mentioned, missed out on an opportunity in the bottom half of the second inning. Bases loaded, 1 out. And then, unfortunately, an error to start that top half of the third inning. Cost him a run in the bottom half. But it could have gotten worse, and it didn't.
It did not.
Jack Vlasidy, just 7 pitches in the inning.
That's a good inning for him.
Just faced 5 batters.
New pitcher for the Skippers, number 11, Matt Kelly, takes the mound. We saw him obviously warming up in the bullpen last inning, and he's getting an opportunity to show his stuff here in the bottom half of the third.
And he'll face the meat of the Cardinal order. Antonio Manos leading off. Jack Vlasidy and Zach White due up behind him. Manos walked and scored in the first inning, in the first inning.
Yep.
Kelly with a lot of movement on his pitches right away, but not able to move it into the zone. It's 2-0. And now 3-0.
Danny Davis is going to just step in front of the plate, talk to Matt Kelly, just calm down a little bit, say, you know, it's the first game of the year, just throw him strikes.
Put yourself in a position here where you have to throw a good hit or a good pitch. He was taking all the way, and it falls in there for strike 1.
Yeah. Tone was headed to first. Not so quickly.
Let's go, Antonio!
Goes back to that curve, dives inside. A lot of movement.
A lot of movement. I thought that was maybe gonna hit him.
Number 33, Jack Malasity.
Antonio earns the walk.
Bring up Jack Vlacity. Frozen for called third strike back in the first inning. Now with one on and nobody out. He'll look at that curveball and let it fall out of the zone, 1-0. Fastball hit well to center. Long run for Grant Thomas. He's not going to catch up. Manos rounds, heads for third. They're going to hold him there. A big double for Jack Vlacity.
Boy,
and the Cardinals have something going here in the third.
Joe, he got a hold of that pitch, and you know, it's a long way out there to center field. And he just he gave that one a ride, and Thomas couldn't get there. And he's going to pick up the double. It's going to go over his head. Did a nice job of grabbing it with his bare hand just to keep it from getting by him.
Well, I was just going to say before that pitch that we have a
pinch runner.
Jacob Powell.
Okay. I knew you'd know.
Believe that's who 24 is. You might want to
I'll double check. I'll double check, see how good you actually are.
Zach White, also a strikeout victim, first time up now with 2 runners in scoring position. He times up that curveball, drops it into left field, misplayed by Thomas. Both runs are going to score. It's a 2-run single for Zach White, and the Cardinals have retaken the lead.
And of course, good job, Joe. That was Powell. He scored that 4th run of the game for Coon Rapids. It was a nice piece of hitting there by White.
I still never got to make my point. Before Vlacity, I was going to say got the hit. You really got to wait on fastballs because he's obviously very comfortable throwing his curveball. He likes to throw it a lot. So you either have to really wait for a fastball or you have to time up the curveball, and we've seen a good example of both. First, the getting that fastball for Jack Vlacity for the double, and then timing it up on the curveball. Zach White gets the 2-run single.
Yeah, he laced that into center field, and again, it's just a nice piece of hitting, a couple RBI.
Roloff walked leading off the second inning, left stranded at third base when the Cardinals left him full. There's that big sweeping curveball. This time it finds the zone, and it's 1-1.
Yeah, a little different pitching style than Lambert, who was in there to start the game for Minnetonka.
Another well-timed curveball, slow roller to second, the tag for 1, the throw for 2, and a much-needed double play for the Minnetonka Skippers.
Yes, absolutely. They've given up a couple of runs here in the bottom of the third.
I mean, I'm not sure if Kelly got a piece of it as it went over the mound, but perfectly timed for Kiffin to just scoop, tag, throw, and a double play. Brings Sam Halverson up to the plate. He grounded back to the pitcher's mound his first time up, and they're
need a little Gorilla Glue.
Doing some maintenance to second base.
Where's the ground crew here? Oh, here he comes.
He's going to go out and ask him, what'd you do to my base?
Yeah. Got to make sure it's secure.
And in line with third base. Yeah, it's good. It's good. Let's
exactly.
play ball.
Good job, Mossy.
getting ready to be a daddy very soon.
Yeah, very exciting.
Should happen sometime during the baseball season. So Sam Halverson digs in. 2 out, nobody on. Another big, slow curve from Kelly out of the zone, 1-0.
Karsten Kimsel thrown in the bullpen for the Skippers, number 3.
Now a curveball that misses high, 2-0. Fastball in for a strike. If he was waiting for a fastball, there it was.
Yeah.
That one right down the heart of the plate. Belt high. Goes back to it, and Halverson ready for it. Good ride out to right, but Uglum jumps and can't make the catch. Halverson will check in with a stand-up double.
Nice job as he's able to get it over Uglum. I think, yeah, Uglum thought it was going to.
Oh, Uglum definitely thought that was going to be a routine play and just misread it. Came in a little too tight. Tried to jump at the end, but 2-out double for Halverson. Bring out Mark Manders. Walked and stole a base. Looks at a fastball, strike 1.
Let's go, Mark. Hey. Let's go, Mark.
This one stopped up pretty well by Davis, but good eyes by Halverson. Scrambles over to third on the wild pitch.
Yeah, really nice job to stop that ball from getting by him, but Halverson off to a little quicker start.
Let's go, Mark.
1-1 pitch to Manders. Another curveball. This one in the zone, 1-2.
Let's see if he comes back with another curve. Head in the count.
Goes back to it. Manders able to check his swing. Really wanted to swing, but able to check it. 2-2. Curveball misses down and away, full count. Curveball grounded to the left side, scooped up by Daniel. The throw is in time for out number 3. Coon Rapids gets 2 back. Big 2-run single by Zach White after the double by Vlacity. They have a 4-2 lead after 3. You're watching high school baseball on CTA.
Hey, Kevin, you thinking about retirement?
I'd love to, but I'm pretty busy with all this.
Yeah. Hey, let's meet our retirement coach, Avo. A is for taking action.
Not anxiety?
No, Kevin, you're gonna be fine.
You sing?
Barely. V is for variety.
And you dance?
Sort of. Come on. O is for optimize your savings.
Let Avo lead the way.
Visit aceyourretirement.org today.
Nice.
Thanks.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. You know, but it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, you know, she's putting them in the same basket again. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
So Minnetonka able to score on a wild pitch in the top half of the first. Coon Rapids able to score on a wild pitch in the bottom half of the first. And maybe a second wild pitch. I think I had called that one the pass ball. And scoring on a fielder's choice to even it up. Then Jack Vlacity with a big double, followed by Zach White. Just waiting on that curveball and hitting it into short center to drive in 2. Give Coon Rapids the 4-2 lead as we start the 4th inning. Duke Kiffin leading off for Minnetonka, looks at a fastball at the knees, strike 1.
Yeah, we talked about Blassie had a pretty quick inning last inning and looking to come in here in the top of the 4th and do the same.
Faced 5 batters through 7 pitches. Only 1 batter was at the dish for more than 1 pitch.
Yeah, and that pitch didn't miss by much. A little bit low, but
Kiffin's 3rd plate appearance since he was at the plate when the first inning ended. Looks at a breaking pitch for a strike, 1-2. Pop up to shortstop in his first official at bat. Held off on that one that didn't miss by much, and it's 2-2 as it skipped away from Petrov behind the plate. Two-two pitch from Vlacity. Hit high on the right side, hooking into foul territory. Roll off his back, gives way, and diving is LeBrant, but can't come up with a catch in foul territory.
Yeah, it was a really nice effort by Lucas to try and get that in foul territory, coming over from second. Oh, it just hit the heel of his glove, too. Good effort.
So Kiffin has new life. We'll see another pitch at 2-2. Breaking pitch misses outside, full count. This one hit high to center. Underneath it is Wynn. He makes the catch. And there's one gone.
Yeah, Wynn coming from second, right in front of Manos. Records the first out of the inning.
Now batting for the Skippers, the designated hitter number 9, Jake Margo.
Jake Margo, a first. Had a walk in his first at bat. This one grounded to first. Roloff able to scoop and win the race. And first up after the collision as well. That's out number 2.
Hey, everybody okay? Roloff's going to decide to take it himself.
This one hit through the hole on the right side, and a very quick single for Thomas Grant with 2 out.
Yeah, he's find that little bit of opening between first and second. And Manos got there quickly. Thought maybe a little bit about trying to get him at first, but
Skipper's not afraid to swing at the first pitch. As I mentioned, in the last inning, 5 batters, only 1 was more than 1. This throw is off target. Good jump by Thomas Grant. Not sure he would have been caught with a perfect throw, but being aggressive, and they go on that first pitch to Blake Singh, which was up and in, 1-0.
Yeah, Manders had to move to his right. Yeah.
That one just high as well, 2-0. Shows bunt pitches down and in, 3-0.
Yeah, with 2 outs, just Cards like to get out of this inning without any damage with a runner in scoring position for Minnetonka.
Well, and they'd like to do it before going back to the top of the order, where Zach Zeta, who has reached and scored both times, but he will come to the plate here with 2 out and 2 on as that pitch inside, a 4-pitch walk for Blake Singh.
Still haven't seen any action in the Cardinal bullpen.
I think we're just seeing it now, actually. Or not.
No, I don't see anybody going over there.
Throw down to first, gets past Roloff. Both runners are going to advance. A little trouble for Manos picking it up in the outfield. The throw coming all the way home, not in time. Sliding in safely at third is Blake Singh, and that's a very costly error for the Cardinals.
Yes, it is.
As 1 run scores, and now the tying run just 90 feet away.
I'm a little surprised he threw at that position because Roloff wasn't going towards the bag.
This one hit high to left center. Long run for Wynn. Back in front of the wall. It bounces off of his glove. Singh scores easily. Turning and heading for third is Zeta. The Skippers have tied it at 4 and have the go-ahead run at third base.
Again, Wynn had to run a long way for that one. And all coming here now with 2 away. Zeta did give that ball a ride. And Wynn, who's pretty quick, you see it just goes off his glove as he's trying to make a diving effort for it. Head coach Matt Mossey's going to take a walk to the mound, talk to Velocity. Now we're just going to see, I think, a little bit of action now in the Cardinal bullpen.
Looks like Andrew Racine. So 4 runs for Minnetonka, all unearned. As we're here in the top of the 4th inning.
One, as you mentioned, Cardinals.
Coon Rapids with 3 errors, and all 3 have come back to bite them.
Yeah, and Cardinals in danger of relinquishing the lead.
Andrew Uglum. Big swing and comes up empty. Bunt single his last time up. I don't think that's on the table in this situation.
No, wouldn't think so.
But if he lays it down that perfectly, maybe it should be. But big swinging strike under the high fastball, and Velocity had in the count 0-2.
I hit him. Tough pitch there. You're heading the count 0-2, and then you hit him.
Now batting for the Skippers, the catcher, number 10, Danny Davis.
So Danny Davis drove in a run in the 3rd, reached on an error in the 1st. Both times, ground balls to the right side. This one hit to the right side as well and through. He'll get the base knock. The throw to third can't be handled by Zach White. And both runners move up 90 more feet as the Skippers have taken the lead.
Yeah, and that was a nice throw from Manos. Just unfortunately that White couldn't handle it. So you're going to see Tone just, you won't see it there, but he threw it on a rope. Just it was down a little bit low, but As you talked about, White couldn't bring it in.
It was there in time.
Yep. Oh, it was.
The inning continues. 2 runners in scoring position with 2 out, and Hemmer fouls it off his own ankle. 8th batter of the inning for Minnetonka.
And all this damage coming with 2 away.
Hit high and deep, but foul. 0-2. Nothing more than a loud strike.
Yep.
Fastball hit to center. Win. There makes the catch and ends the inning, but the Skippers do some damage. They score 3 and take the lead. It's Minnetonka 5, Coon Rapids 4, middle of the 4th on CTN.
Jeff Foxworthy here. You know, if you've ever found yourself repeating the same thing for 75 years, you might be Smokey Bear.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Well, thing is, there's a lot more to say. Like if you've ever found yourself burning yard debris and then walking away, well, you might be starting a wildfire. So for the love of the outdoors, go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
Oh, hi. I'm TV's Howie Shapiro. And when I'm not announcing CTN sports broadcasts with my sidekick, Joe Yen, I'm watching all the other great programs on the CTN Studios YouTube page. There's news stories, great local events, and even full games. You can even watch on any smart device with a YouTube app. Whether that's your phone or a tablet, you can watch CTN's great programming wherever and whenever you want. You can even watch CTN's event coverage live. So no matter where you are, you can share in all the excitement. CTN Studios, building community through cable.
Spectators staying warm as best they can. Action on the field is plenty hot. The defense, maybe not. Coon Rapids 3 errors. All 5 of Minnetonka's runs of the unearned variety. But Coon Rapids, to their credit, have been able to answer each time that Minnetonka has put a run on the board. But to their credit, so have the Skippers.
Yes.
Skippers have scored in 3 of the first 4 innings. Coon Rapids has scored in the first and then the third, and now hoping they can add at least 1 and get back to an even score here in the bottom of the 4th inning.
Leading off for the Cardinals, the second baseman, number 2, Lucas LeBrant.
Lucas LeBrant will lead off. Got a walk first time up. First chance to look at Matt Kelly. First pitch, grounded back up the middle, charging in is Zeta. He scoops, throws over to Hemmer for out number 1.
Yeah, good strong throw from short to get the first out.
And now back to the top of the order, Ian Wynn. 1 for 2. Infield single in the first. Ended up coming around to score. His first look at Matt Kelly as well. And you're going to see a lot of that.
Yeah, he tried to drop that in, and he did.
That just
I
was going to say that one. I think
didn't
he called
think it was.
inside.
Yeah, he did. But originally they had 2 strikes on the scoreboard.
Now it's a second strike. 3 straight curveballs to Win. 2 of them called strikes on the inside corner. There's another one, and this one he gets a piece of and fouls away. Again, you're back to, you really want to wait on that fastball, but if you never see it, you got to be able to time up that curveball or at least continue to battle. Kelly's second inning of work. Curveball gets Wynn swinging. The throw down in time. And there's 2 down.
A couple of relatively quick outs for the skippers in the field after taking the lead.
Well, that's the way the top of the half of the inning worked as well.
It's true, very true. Cardinals hoping for the same.
Ricky Petroff 0 for 2. Curve well up high. 1-0. He's the last one in the order to get a first look here at Matt Kelly. Able to lay off a couple of curveballs, one up high, one outside. And that one inside, 3-0. We'll see with 2 outs. You almost give Ricky the green light here if he's going to see the fastball, which he did get the fastball, but up high, and it's ball 4, 4-pitch walk.
Now batting for the Cardinals, the right fielder, number 26, Antonio Manos.
Tone has walked and scored twice.
Now Cardinals see if they can get something cooking here with 2 away.
Petroff is going. The pitch is dropped and no throw as Petroff slides in safely into scoring position.
Good time to practice your slide.
Curveball is in to even the count at 1-1. Curveball stopped up by Davis. No chance for Petroff to try and advance.
Yeah, again, just a good job by Davis just to keep it in front of him.
Yeah, if you're going to have a pitcher that throws this many curveballs, you're going to want a catcher that can block them.
Yes.
Fastball hit to right field. Uglum back on it, not able to make the catch. Rounding and coming home is Petroff. Big turn at second for Manos, but then dives back with the RBI double. We're tied again at 5.
Yeah, with 2 away, Joe. It's a nice piece of hitting by Manos.
Now batting for the Cardinals, the pitcher, number 33, Jack Malasity.
Was able to get down low for that one and able to put it over Uglum's head. Just out of his reach.
That'll bring up Jack Vlacity. He had the big leadoff double in the last inning. Petroff is going. Big, slow curveball and no throw.
Just aggressive base running.
Oh, that's Dominic Espinosa.
Oh.
I didn't see when they put the courtesy runner in.
I didn't either. No.
Oh, that is Manos.
Manos.
I'm sorry. I was looking for, never mind. I was looking for Ricky. Forgot about, man, yeah, never mind.
It's okay. First game of the year. I just went with you on it, so.
Curveball is in 1-2. This one chopped down the line at third. It's a fair ball. It skipped away from Daniel. It'll be an RBI single for Vlacity, his second hit of the season. First RBI. And it gets his team the lead right back. It's 6-4 or 6-5.
Yeah, just as quickly, the Cardinals get the lead back. There you see it, just down the third baseline. Daniel not able to make a play on the balls. It gets by him.
And now Zach White, 2-run single last time up. He waited on that curveball and caught it right about mid-shin.
Yeah.
And just nice soft little liner over the shortstop. The throw got past Duke Kiffin, and a stolen base for Vlasity. It's a pretty good throw from Danny Davis, but Kiffin couldn't come up with it.
Yeah, he comes up with that, he's out.
Yeah, but it's tough to follow through the legs. And big cut by Zach White, comes up empty and ends up in the glove of Danny Davis. It's 2-1. Curveball can't tempt him to go for something out and down and away. 3-1. This one hit on the ground to the left side, scooped up by Zeta. The throw in time for out number 3, but Coon Rapids scores 2 and takes the lead right back. It's Cardinals 6, Skippers 5, heading to the 5th inning on CTN.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Learn to cough and sneeze with your pal Grover. Step 1. Realize you're about to sneeze. Step 2. Move your elbow toward your nose and mouth. Step 3. Gesundheit. 1, 2, 3. Remember to cough and sneeze into your arm or elbow and not your hands.
Takeover for the Cardinals on the mound. And he comes out with a 6-5 lead to start this 5th inning. Last inning, 4 innings, 75 pitches. No earned runs.
We had that big pitch count in the first inning.
Well, and a relatively high pitch count in the 4th as well.
Right.
But
now pitching for the Cardinals, number 8, Andrew Racine.
Josh Daniel will lead off for Minnetonka here in the 5th. Daniel 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a ground out. But as we talked about in that last inning, both teams seemed to respond pretty quickly.
They did. Well, both teams scoring runs with 2 away.
Especially in that 4th inning.
Yep.
3 for Minnetonka and 2 for Coon Rapids. All came with 2 outs. Try to take something off it and get Daniels out in front, but he lays off. It falls down below the zone. It's 1-1. Out in front of that one a little bit, got a piece of it fouled off his ankle, a 1-2. Daniel again way out in front of it, but able to get a piece of it, stay alive.
I think I got a piece of him as well. Is just trying to walk that off. Yeah, he's came away from the plate limping a little bit again. He's trying to stretch that out.
It's his 5th two-strike foul of the ball game. In his 3rd at bat. His 2nd at bat was only 1 pitch. But he is not one that is going to go away easily. Another 2-2 offering from Racine. This one single into left field. Leadoff man aboard for Minnetonka.
Well, he stayed with it, did a nice job of getting the base hit.
Bring up Duke Kiffin. He's also 0 for 2. Pop up to short and a fly out to center. Shows bunt, drops down a good one down the right field line. Fielded by Racine. They'll take the sacrifice, and Daniel moves into scoring position.
Yeah, as you mentioned, just a nice bunt to advance the runner.
Now batting for the Skippers, the designated hitter, number 9, Jake Margot.
Walk and a ground out for Jake Margot in the ball game so far. He had the big collision with Roloff at first base in the 4th inning. This one fouled back out of play. Outside, 2-1.
Well, Minnetonka looking here in the top of the 5th with 1 away. If they can see if they can at least tie this game up after Coon Rapids grabbed the lead, the bottom of the 4th. And
So it hit well to right field, well over the head of Manos. Turning and coming home is Daniel. An RBI double for Jake Margot, and we're tied once more.
Yeah, it was a nice piece of hitting by Margot as he ripped it down that right field line.
Thomas Grant singled and scored, part of that 3-run 4th inning. Takes a pitch inside, 1-0. That one brushed him.
Yep.
Minnetonka gets something going quickly here in the 5th. Blake Singh walked and scored last time up. 1 out, 2 on in a tie ball game, top of the 5th inning. Just off the outside edge, 1-0. Trying to work the low part of the zone. That one inside, 2-0.
Nice pitch there.
Needed a strike. He got Singh to swing. 2-1. Shows bunt. Pushes one perfectly. Slips and falls. The throw takes Roloff off the base. He thought he tagged him, but ruled safe. Pleading his case, but
I think he might have tagged him
not
as
going
well.
to
Let's
change
see.
the umpire's mind.
As Matt Mossy's coming out to talk to the official, and we'll see it here.
I thought he got him with the tag.
I think he did. No, I don't know.
Oh.
No, I think he beat it.
May have gotten a foot to the base
Yeah.
before the tag was made. Oof, it's hard to tell. And he doesn't get that. He doesn't get that slow motion replay either. And he even slipped and fell.
Now the officials are
and
going to
still
confer.
able to get there safely.
See what they have to say. Both officials conferring after.
It's a beautiful bunt, regardless.
Yeah. No, we've seen some nice bunts from this Minnetonka squad here this afternoon. Oh, they called him out.
Overruled. Well, it was a sacrifice. It won't hurt his batting average.
But it's the second out of the inning, which is a big one.
A huge one. Well, and you know, if you're Minnetonka, while you love the original call, at the same time, that was your job.
Right.
Was to give yourself up.
Yep.
So, you know, the result of the play, having him safe at first and only one out would be a huge bonus.
We'll see it again. There's the high throw, and it's tough. It's tough to see from that angle where he tagged him. Wow.
But if he gets him on the hip before the foot comes down,
then he's an out. Yeah, but I couldn't tell from that angle.
Well, now back to the top of the order, and Zeta has yet to be retired. Had a bomb of a triple to drive in a run, to drive in 2 runs in that last inning.
Well, this would be a good time to retire him.
Six ball game. Runners at second and third, 2 out, and this one skied in the infield. And Lucas LeBrant able to catch it in traffic.
Yikes.
Definitely made it interesting. But Cardinals able to keep those last couple of runners stranded. We're tied at 6 midway through the 5th. You're watching high school baseball season opener live on CTN. Well, it was an eventful 4th inning.
Yeah.
Another Coon Rapids error leads to some more Minnetonka runs. They score 3. The big bomb from Zach Zeta that drove in 2. That was a triple. And then the single through the right side by Danny Davis to drive in the go-ahead run. But Coon Rapids comes right back and scores a couple in the bottom half of the inning. And then Minnetonka responds in the top half of the 5th with a run. So they've scored in 4 of the first 5 innings of their season. You gotta like that as a coach. Coon Rapids has scored 3 of the first 4 innings of their season, which is great. The downside is you had the bases loaded with only 1 out in the 1 inning you didn't score.
And we'll see a new pitcher for the skipper's number 3, Karsten Kimsel, will take the mound for Minnetonka. Looks like defensively everything's the same, I believe. Yep.
Now pitching for the Skippers, number 3, Karsten Kimsal. Now batting for the Cardinals, number 35.
Parker Roloff, Sam Halverson, and Mark Manders, the scheduled hitters, but that is not who we will see. We will see Patrick Wright leading off his first at-bat as a varsity ball player. Fastball misses low, 2-0.
Now Coach Mossy get an opportunity to get a couple other guys here in the bottom of the 5th and some at-bats, some play.
Up high, 3-0. And a 4-pitch walk.
Well, certainly not the way Kimsel wanted to start here in the bottom of the 5th. His first opportunity on the mound.
Now Sam Halverson. Halverson, kind of a weak grounder back to the mound. His first at bat, but he more than made up for it in his second at bat in the 3rd inning. Big double for Halverson. We see Powell, the courtesy runner for Wright, over at first. Halverson looks at a pitch for a strike, 0-1.
Yeah, nice first offering to Sam here.
Throw down, and Powell back in time. Ooh. Helmet came off, and he took the tag attempt right to the forehead.
Yeah, glove to the face. That'll keep you awake.
A little behind on the fastball, 1-2. Kamsel steps off.
Oh, now Davis going to go take a walk to the mound to talk to him a little bit.
Nobody out, runner at first base. But he's up in the count, 1-2 against Halverson. They're going to check on Powell again. He's back in plenty of time. Fastball misses low. Davis able to keep it in front of him, 2-2.
He's a pretty good defensive catcher, Danny Davis. Does a nice job of keeping that ball in front of him when they've been down in the dirt. Oh.
Curveball, Halverson ducked away from it. It falls in for a called 3rd strike.
Now batting for the Cardinals, the shortstop, number 18, Mark Manders.
Yeah, this is a pretty pitch. Yeah, he thought that was coming right for him.
It'll bring up Mark Manders. Fastball high and away, 1-0. walking a stolen base in his first at bat, grounded out to third his last time up. Now with a runner at first and one away, shows bunt, pulls back, pitches in the dirt. Davis has trouble getting to it, and Powell scoots over to second.
Now an opportunity, runner in scoring position with one away.
2-0 count means that Kimsel's going to want to come to the plate with something. Don't want to fall any further behind. Be a good time for Manders to get his first varsity hit. Fastball right down the middle for strike one. Way up high, and Davis able to get up there and grab it. Or you would have had that runner over to third.
Yes, you would have.
Three and one count for Mark Manders. And it's ball four. Second walk of the inning for Kimsel.
Second baseman, number 2, Lucas LeBrant.
Walkout, strikeout, walkout. Walk, strikeout, walk is not exactly what you need from a reliever at this point in the ball game, but you know, it's good to see the strikeout.
Yes.
Rather the strikeout, walk, strikeout. As long as you're getting the strikeouts a little more frequently. But,
this is true.
Definitely makes it an adventure.
Get a quick visit to the mound by the pitching coach from Minnetonka.
And now Lucas LeBrant walking a ground out so far in his afternoon. 2 on, 1 out. Tie ball game in the bottom of the 5th inning. Fastball in, strike one. Curveball drops low out of the zone, 1-1. Fastball again, taking Davis out of his crouch. We've already seen early in this ball game how much foul room there is.
Yeah.
And if it gets behind your catcher, it's big trouble. He's going to throw down and check on Manders. He's back in time. It's 3-1 now to LeBrant. Just high, ball four.
It's going to load him up. 3 and win.
And back to the top of the order.
Center fielder, number 29, Ian Wynn.
Ian leads this team in a lot of ways. Speed, certainly.
Yes.
Attitude, he's a good leader. But the boy can hit the ball hard, too. Hasn't really turned on one that well. Trying to slide under, but won't. But he'll get the RBI on the ground out to first. Well, and he made it an adventure at least.
He did. Make sure nobody makes a play anywhere else.
Now batting for the Cardinals, the catcher, number 10, Ricky Petrov.
Yeah. Well, I was just about to start bragging him up for the power that he can bring. And another one that he just didn't get much on. He's hit the ball, put the ball in play 3 times in his 4 at-bats, and nothing that has had any real heat on it. But he can definitely pound the ball with the best of them on this team. And Ricky Petrov also looking for his first hit. He's another guy that has the power and has a couple ducks on the pond here with 2 outs. Trying to break this tie, and this one stopped by Davis. Wasn't quite sure looking behind him, but right underneath him.
Now this is a big batter.
2-0.
Big batter for Kimsel too. He just wants to get out of this inning with just the one run.
Well, now you're into the meat of the order.
Yeah.
If you can get the out and end it with this one, bounces off the top of Davis's glove. Manders is going to come home to score. LeBrant will go over to third.
Always nice to get that second run of the inning, get that 2-run cushion here. Let's get a little later in this ball game. Again, off the glove of Davis. A base hit here would be big.
So again, Minnetonka able to get a couple in the top half of the inning. Coon Rapids comes right back and answers. They have 2 across already. They've got 2 runners on with 2 out, and Antonio Manos doing exactly what you want your number 3 hitter to do so far. He has not been retired. 2 walks and an RBI double, and he has scored 3 times. Swings hard at a fastball, comes up empty, 0-1.
We saw Cam Halen working in the bullpen for the Skippers here. They don't get out of this inning. He may come in next, but nice pitch there.
Gets Kimsel ahead in the count, 0-2. Petrov is going, pitch is down low. Davis, again, lost it a little bit in his feet, but put 2 into scoring position now with a 1-2 count.
Yeah, base hit to the outfield would be huge in this situation for the Cards.
Up high, 2-2. Didn't miss by much, not an easy take, but Manos able to lay off, and the count is full.
Yeah, definitely not an easy take.
Kimsel with a gorgeous curveball.
Pretty.
For strike 3. Cardinals leave a couple more stranded in scoring position, but they score 2. And they lead 8-6 after 5. We'll take a break. 6th inning of the 2021 baseball season opener is next on CTN.
Yo, Scott.
Hey.
I'm heading out, man. You want to ride?
No, I got my car, but I actually really need to go to the bathroom.
Oh, you know what? I was just in there. The line is like 10 people long.
You know, I think I'll just...
Dude, are you okay?
You wouldn't believe what I was just thinking. I am definitely buzzed.
Yeah.
I think I will take this, and I will take that ride home.
Smart man.
Did you see how that dog was looking at me?
In order for us to continue participating in athletics and activities,
we need to work together.
Wash your hands often, especially when you're in public areas.
If you're sick, stay home.
Stay at least 6 feet away from other people, and do not hang out in groups.
Cover your nose and mouth with a mask or use a cloth face covering.
Help keep us in the game.
Please practice health and safety protocols so we can keep doing what we love. Mask up, Rebels.
Tornadoes.
Cardinals. Bengals.
Huskies. Mask up and Oklahoma.
It's a punch, counter punch kind of afternoon in this season opener. We're going to see Jennings Jermu on the hill getting his first work of the season. Looks like they leave everything else intact. Parker Roloff replaced in the batting order by Patrick Wright that last time through, but he stays at first base. And they only seem to put up cricket numbers.
Seems that way.
2 runs in 4 different innings through 5 for the Cardinal offense.
Pitching change for the Cardinals now on the mound. Number 16.
They got 2 runs and left 2 runners without the benefit of a hit in that bottom half of the 5th. Andrew Uglum will lead off for Minnetonka here. First one to look at Jennings Jermu. Pitch with a lot of movement down and in, 1-0. Uglum, a bunt single, also hit by a pitch.
Hit by another one.
The second time he's been hit by a pitch.
Not the way you want to start the inning.
Uglum will take it.
Yo, Uglum for sure will. But not if you're a Cardinal.
Danny Davis. He took it in the took it in the meaty part.
Yep.
That's it's an easier one to walk off. He was on the run, but this one fouled out of play by Danny Davis over the dugout. Davis 1 for 3, couple of RBI. Also reached on an error back in the first inning. Runner at first, nobody out here in the top half of the 6th inning.
Going.
Pitch is down and in and hit Uglum, so back-to-back hit batters. Not at all how Jermu is hoping to start his season.
No, and Uglum doesn't get his stolen base.
Charlie Heemer will step in. 0 for 2 with a walk. 2 on, nobody out. Runner is going, the bunt laid down perfectly. And no chance for a play anywhere. Bunt single will load him up with nobody out. Well, that says something when your number 4 hitter is dropping down a perfect bunt.
They're a good bunting team. We've seen a number of really nice bunts by this skipper squad.
Bring up Josh Daniel. 1 for 3. He's got the bases loaded, nobody out, and
wow, 3 hit batters in this inning. And Matt Mossy's going to take a walk to the mound.
After they just battled back to take the lead again at 8-6. In some trouble here with one already across. Bases loaded and nobody out. Duke Kiffin laid down a sacrifice bunt his last time up. Cardinals would like something sharp right at an infielder, see if they can cut that run down at the plate. I've always been a big fan of the 1-2-3 double play.
Would be nice.
Way inside and nearly caught Kiffin. but it's 2-0.
Yeah, a smile on his face, too, as he looked at his teammates, looked back at the dugout.
3-0. Able to find the zone, but obviously Kiffin taking all the way.
Yeah, and he needed that strike.
That one down in the dirt, skips past into the backstop. Everybody advancing on ball 4 anyway.
Well, as quickly as Coon Rapids took the lead, that's as quickly as Minnetonka tied it up. Threatening to grab the lead back as Mossy's taking another walk to the mound here with bases loaded. Nobody out.
That'll be it for Jennings Jermu, and it looks like they're going to have Jack Flassity take over out in right field, and Tone Manos will come in and take over on the mound. We will take a short break, and we will be back with more of this 6th inning. It's 8-8 in the season opener on CTN.
What are you doing in there?
What's that?
I wouldn't do that. What are you doing? What are you looking for?
One in 3 adults has pre-diabetes. That means it could be you, your favorite brother, your other brother,
Yes.
you, your football buddy, your football buddy, you, your plumber,
Breathe right into your foot.
your plumber's masseuse,
Yes.
you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. With early diagnosis, pre-diabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all, if I could go back, I would. But I can't.
Ian Wynn out in center field. Tone Manos will take over on the mound. He'll inherit loaded bases, nobody out. In a tie game here in the top of the 6th inning. If you like runs and you don't care how they're scored, this has been your game.
Yeah, it's for you.
But again, you know, it's season opener on a very short start. It's cool, to say the least. This one grounded right back off, goes off the tip of the glove of Manos. They'll get the out at first. One more run scores. Everybody moves up.
And just one away. And the Skippers take the lead 9-8.
Thomas Grant looks at a pitch in the dirt, bounces away from Petrov. Coming home is Josh Daniel. It's a 10-8 lead. Over to third is Duke Kiffin.
Yeah, tough one, that pitch in the dirt. Petrov tried to stay in front of it, but couldn't keep it from getting away.
Fastball misses low, 2-0. Now another one in the dirt, skips away. Kiffin will come home and score. Five runs in the inning for Minnetonka, and they lead 11-8.
Yeah, tough one. Tough way to clear the bases for Coon Rapids.
And a 4-pitch walk for Thomas Grant. Just to refresh, in case you missed it, we did have one hit in this inning. It was a bunt, single. 3 hit batters, now 2 walks. 5 runs across for the Minnetonka Skippers. Just 1 out. The runner is off. The pitch is hit back and out of play.
Minnetonka continued to be aggressive on the bases.
Blake Singh dropped down a pretty good bunt last time up and nearly beat it out. Originally called safe, but after a conference of officials, he was ruled out at first base on the tag. Now with 1 out, 1 on. Runner is off, pitches in the dirt, goes all the way to the backstop. I think somebody got into Thomas Grant's head. He stopped before he got to second. He could have taken a big turn.
He could have.
And maybe even tried to hustle it out for third and test Petrov.
It should have been a... Yeah, he's...
Oh, it is
yeah, that's a strike.
Just correcting the count. I think our umpire also called it 2-1.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely a swing. 1 and 2 is definitely the right count. Just got the end of the bat on that. We'll stay alive. Called strike 3, and a big second out for Coon Rapids.
Yeah, it was a huge second out. They will obviously want to get out of this inning after 5 coming across, and the runner is now in scoring position with 2 away.
Well, back to the top for Zach Zayeta. Hits this one high to left field. Halverson ranging to his right. Underneath it, makes the catch and ends the inning. But a 5-run 6th inning has Minnetonka in front by 3. It's 11-8 going to the bottom of the 6th on CTN.
Today I'm going to talk to you about physics. Come on in, girls. Let's go. This is the first rocket to get humans to Mars.
Really tall.
I'm a rocket structural engineer, designing and building parts of the rocket. You are the generation that will be stepping foot on Mars. Do I have a group of astronauts on my hands?
Yes.
You can become a rocket scientist or whatever else you want to be.
Want to know the who, what, when, and where of Coon Rapids? Then just follow CTN on social media. It's that simple. Whether it's Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Keep up with local news, sports, and events, and the people who make our community such a great place to live. So give us a follow, like, share, or subscribe, and always be the first to know what's up in Coon Rapids. That's CTN, helping you stay connected.
Bottom of 6, and they've been filling up the score sheet. Minnetonka with an 11-8 lead.
Yeah, you see the line score 11-9 hits for Minnetonka. 3 miscues in the field for the Cardinals certainly have hurt. 8 runs on 6 hits.
Yeah, and a lot of pass ball / wild pitches.
Yes.
More of the wild pitch variety. Not that I would bias toward the catcher at all, but I do.
Not you. Cam Halen pitching for the Skippers, number 16.
Yeah, Kimsall threw 30 pitches in that 5th inning, only 9 of them for strikes. Vlasidy, first pitch swinging, and a solid single over the head of Zayeda at short. His 3rd hit of the ball game.
Again, just nice job swinging through that pitch, getting the base hit, starting this inning off on the right foot for Coon Rapids.
Number 14, Zach White.
Bring up Zach White. White had a 2-run single back in the 3rd inning. That one skips away, and Vlasidy will hustle over to second. This one skied right side, short right field. And there to make the catch is Uglum. Tagging and moving to 3rd is Vlasidy.
They're saying he didn't step on second. Minnetonka staff told him to throw back to the bag at second, but not going to get the call. Or he left early, possibly.
Runner at 3rd, 1 away. Parker Roloff digging in. Hit into a double play his last time at the plate. That one got away, and Vlasidy did not get a good jump. He stays at 3rd.
Yeah, unfortunately, he didn't get that jump because that ball went all the way back to the backstop.
Fastball's in to even the count at 1-1.
Yeah, did a nice job of keeping that fastball low in the zone.
Foul backing out of play. 1-2. Nice stop this time by Davis. Another pitch down and away. 2-2. Misses down and away, and the count is full.
I think some of the Minnetonka fans thought that was a strike.
Well, they've thought that a lot.
Yeah, they have.
It's the beauty of baseball is you have 20 times as many umpires behind you as you do in front of you. This one hit relatively well to center. Therefore, it is Thomas. He makes the catch. Tagging is Vlasidy from 3rd. He will come in to score. A sacrifice fly for Roloff cuts the lead to 11-9.
Yeah, able to get one of those runs back. 2 away with Sam Halverson. stepping to the plate.
Halverson 1 for 3 with a double back in the third inning. Now 2 out, nobody on. See if he can spark another 2-out rally. We've seen some interesting things with 2 outs here in this ball game. So while it is 2 outs and nobody on base, this half inning far from over. Don't see it's over until that final out is recorded.
Absolutely.
We have certainly learned that this afternoon. High to short right, could drop, could be trouble, but a good, strong play from Uglum coming in on it and makes the catch to record the out. Coon Rapids gets 1 back, but it's an 11-9 lead for Minnetonka as we head to the 7th. You're watching the 2021 season opener on CTN.
When we adopt a shelter pet, we discover they're a unique mix of all kinds of things.
Come on, Drew, spot on this last one. There it is.
Keep going with it. Leo! They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love.
Back at the ballpark. And ready for the 7th. Cardinals had led most of the game, but find themselves down 2 as we get to the final inning.
Mark Manders on the mound for the Cardinals here in the top of the 7th.
Fun Hill have to
number 26, Antonio Manos, and pitching number 18, Mark Manders.
Jackson Fierce takes over at short for Manders, who takes over on the mound, and he'll have to face the 2-3-4 hitters here for Minnetonka. Andrew Uglum looks at a pitch up high.
Well, and he'd like a quick inning. Cardinals would certainly like a quick inning here.
Uglum is 1 for 2. Had a bunt single. He's been hit by pitch twice. Out in front of that, and it's 1-1. Fastball blown past him. It's 1-2. This one ripped foul, and
he turned on
Uglum,
that.
yeah, got a lot of it. It went a long way, but a long way foul as he was out in front.
So are you a fan of the stirrups? Or
I'm a big fan.
I am too. I like those.
Good curveball right there, but it does not get called. It's 2-2. Goes back to it, and this time you can't watch it. Might be able to watch it once, but umpire's not going to let you look at it all day. Look at where that finishes.
Oh boy, is that pretty.
Just on the outside edge, a little above the belt. Now Danny Davis. 1 for 3, reached on an error, has driven home a couple, hit by a pitch and scored a run. This one hits solidly over the head of Roloff at first. And a one-out single for Danny Davis.
Well, nice piece of hitting by Davis as he's able to turn on that pitch and put it into right field.
Hemer laid down a beautiful bunt his last time up. Swings and misses at the fastball, 0-1. Couple of fly balls and a walk outside of that bunt single. Runner is going. This one hits softly to center. Back-to-back singles to start the ball game. They throw in behind the runner as Davis had taken a turn at second, but he's back safely.
All of a sudden, a couple base runners for Minnetonka with one away. They're looking to see if they can get at least that one run back that they lost in the bottom half of the 6th.
Well, and this is the part of the order that did it as well. Good stop there by Petrov on a pitch in the dirt. Josh Daniel drove in a run by being hit by a pitch in that 5-run 6th inning. Now with runners at first and second, just one out. This one hit high and well foul. Long run for Halverson, but runs out of room. 1-1. Foul and out of play over the Cardinal dugout. 1-2. Skipped it off the top of his helmet.
It's gonna load him up.
Sixth hit batter for Cardinal pitchers. This one hit foul and out of play. Back behind third.
Yeah, there's been a lot of things in this game that both teams want to clean up.
Jake Margot, an RBI double in the 5th inning, an RBI ground out in the 6th. Now with the bases loaded and only one away. This one lined to left. Will fall, 1 run will score, and they'll hold Hemer at third.
They did get that 1 run back. Makes it 12-9 in favor of the Skippers.
I'm sorry, that was Kiffin that just hit. I got off track. This is Margot coming up. That was Kiffin with the single, drives in a run.
Nice pitch. That pitch got away from him a little bit.
1-1 now to Margot. Margot underneath that one, and maybe a bit early, 1-2. Gets the curveball by him for strike 3, a big second out with his bases still loaded.
Yes, it is.
Grant Thomas goes digging for the first pitch and fouls it away. Singled and scored in the 4th. Hit by a pitch, left stranded in the 5th. Walked and left stranded in the 6th. But when your number 8 hitter is reaching base 3 out of 4 times, that's success any way you spell it.
Yes, it is.
Just high, 1-1. Fastball misses up and in, 2-1. Down and in.
Now Mander's in danger of walking in a run at 3-1. Nice pitch there.
Curveball is in for a strike. Full count.
He needed that, Joe.
Comes the fastball, according to Josh Daniel out on first base. He's been trying to flash signs to the batter. Give his teammate an opportunity to try and get ahead in the game. He says it's a fastball. He's correct. And this one hit to center. Backing off on it is Ian Wynn. He makes the catch for out number 3. But the Skippers push one more across. They lead 12-9 as we head to the bottom of the 7th. You're watching CTN's live coverage of the 2021 high school baseball opener.
When you look at the number of disasters in the U.S., chances are every area will deal with some kind of emergency in the next decade. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Oh, it's so nice to all be sitting down together. You can tell me something they did today.
I drew a horsey.
Good for you, son.
I started smoking.
I love you too, sweetheart.
I'm selling bongs out of our minivan.
I got a tramp stamp.
I'm getting implants.
I'm dating your brother.
Uh-huh.
I'm cooking meth in the basement.
Great idea, kiddo. That's why you're so popular at school.
Well, you have to start somewhere.
You do.
That is the old adage. I don't think either of these teams will be terribly happy with their pitching and defense.
I think you're correct.
I think both will be happy with how well they took advantage of opportunity offensively, as they have scored in every other way except for the big hits.
Exactly.
We've only seen a handful of the 21 runs we've seen that have come across on big hits. Well, Mark Manders pitched the top half of the inning. He will lead off the bottom half.
Zach Zeta on the mound for the Skippers, trying to close this one out.
Fires a fastball in there and evens it up, 1-1. One fouled back and out of play. Looks like Dominic Espinoza going to get his first at-bat of the season. He's on deck in the spot Lucas LeBrand had been in. Swinging at a pitch down. It skips away from Davis. Davis still hasn't found it. Manders will reach on the wild pitch.
Certainly take that one to start the inning.
Still a strikeout for Zayeda. So as I mentioned, Dominic Espinoza, his first at bat. Fastball misses low, 1-0. Manders is going. The pitch is down and away. The throw takes kind of a weird hop, but Manders had a pretty good jump. He's in with a stolen base.
That's what you want to do, get runners in scoring position, and Manders did a nice job of getting a good jump, as you mentioned, but able to get the stolen base.
Come on, 2-0, they count to Espinoza. And that one skips away from Davis all the way to the backstop. Over to third is Manders. Well, and if you're Zeta and the Tonka skippers, you have to just forget about Manders over at third.
Got to play for outs.
That run really means nothing. Pitch called a strike as Espinoza backed away from it. It's 3-1. That one's outside, ball 4. So a strikeout, reaches on a wild pitch, stolen base, a pass ball gets him over to third, and now ball 4 puts 2 on and back to the top of the order for Ian Wynn. Now, as I was mentioning right before he grounded out, relatively weakly in his last at bat, he's got power.
Yes, he does.
This would be a good time to show it. Thought that was inside, but it's called a strike. Check on Espinoza. He's back in time over at first. Coach Don Bright manning the first base coaching box, so good to see him back with the Cardinals.
Yes, it is.
It's 29 years?
It's crazy.
Because I think they're 5 years ahead of us when he started coaching.
Yep, I agree. I think you're right.
Pitch is low. 1-2 to Ian Wynn. Another one that falls low, 2-2. When we talked about it, you know what? How would early on, you know, how long do you let the pitchers go? How many pitchers are you using? How many pitchers do you have that are ready when you've had such little time to get warmed up?
And plus, it's a little cold out, so it makes it a little more difficult.
Absolutely, and you know, talk about the pitches that are getting past both the catchers. Catching gets tough being in and out of that crouch when it's that cold out. This one hit weakly to third, scooping and tagging the base is Hemer. A run scores. So another RBI ground out for Wynn.
Well, that was a big first out. You know, you keep a guy who's got a lot of speed off the base paths.
Well, here's another guy. Ricky could be a power guy. He represents the tying run, digging in. Looking for his first hit of the game. Got just a piece of that, 0-1. Quickly behind in the count, 0-2. And a 3-pitch strikeout, a big,
huge
K for Zaida.
Now batting for the Cardinals, the right fielder, number 26, Antonio Manos.
And the Cardinals down to their last out. Antonio Manos digging in as you see the high heat. And Petros swings underneath it. Tone Manos. They're going to. Oh, he slid in safely. Dominic Espinoza safe at third.
I thought
caught me sleeping.
I thought he had him.
It's risky with 2 outs.
Yeah.
So Manos with an RBI double in the 4th. He's walked twice, scored 3 times. And this one hit well to center, but pretty much right at Grant Thomas. He makes the catch. And this game is over.
Yeah, and it was an interesting game. You know, we saw a lot of things happen that you know, you can expect from first games of the season. But Cardinals will they're trying to come back here after Minnetonka took that lead, and they will drop their opener.
Yeah, not the afternoon they had hoped for, but they got a chance to see a bit of what they have and a little better idea moving forward of what they need to work on for both teams.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, 12-10. Not and not many of those clean runs.
No.
Both teams know. Yeah, let's work on the especially the wild pitches and pass balls.
Yeah.
Those were
and the hit batters
paramount, and hit batters.
Hit batters. There were too many of those as well.
Far too many for both, and probably too many walks on both sides as well. But just the start of the season, and we've got more for you here on CTN. We're going to see the boys tennis team on Thursday, the softball team on Friday. We'll see the baseball team again against Osseo on Tuesday the 20th. But that's going to do it for this edition of CTN Sports. Again, the final score, Minnetonka 12, Coon Rapids 10. We want to thank everybody out there for joining us and continuing to support everything we do here at CTN. For the entire crew, including Howie Shapiro, I'm Joe Young, saying goodnight.